The latest. Thank you for love and support. I appreciate you all. Our leaders in Africa will never cease to amaze us. Today we are in Kenya Parliament. The senators were having their usual debate. You know what African leaders, the democratic elected ones, always do best. Some senator in Kenya knows the United States more than his own continent. Only 4 countries that he has visited per what he has mentioned. And he is now trying to know Africa the most. And these are the people that are leading us. No wonder Yellow Papa is always having upper hand on the African. After that, there is another senator who rose up. And according to him, the other senator that spoke said a lot of good things. He has seen the good things in all in all. The Savior, the Protector, the Unifier, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the most loved, Capt. Ibrahim Traore. Then this one, the reasons to which Africa is not moving forward, rose up. Those gatekeepers, those house slaves or home slaves rose up to tell us that Capt. Ibrahim Traore hasn't done anything for his nation, that he used to believe him. And because we haven't done research, they should forget about how we are hyping him on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever. When you go deep down, when he has done his research that Yellow Papa has written for him to come and say, because when they don't defend Yellow Papa, the visas, their assets, we understand, they will lose them. He found out that Captain Ibrahim Traore is not doing anything good. The reason to which he took power, we know he told us that the security in Burkina Faso was becoming something else. So he came in to defend the people. According to him, he has not been doing anything. Those terrorists, they have succeeded in capturing more territories of Burkina Faso. So we asked the senator, all the weapons that you saw, all these things that they are doing in Burkina Faso, the satellites, the amazing things that you, those who sit in your democratic elected parliaments and all you do is talk, you haven't seen it. So we are hyping him. And we are supposed not to be hyping him. Because whatsoever Yellow Papa kept on the internet to him, because we don't know where he had his information from, Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing nothing. And that country must be returned back to democratic rule.
I drove from South Africa all the way to Nairobi, through Botswana, through Zambia, and then Tanzania, and all the way to Kenya. And number 2 also, I've also really driven across South Africa. I like traveling, and I have walked across the United States of America. So one day, I will walk across Africa.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Ledama has actually helped to affirm my point that he knows the Americas more than he does his own Africa. Mr. Speaker, you can see he only mentioned four countries out of 54, Mr. Speaker. And forget about the countries. This man, because I know him because he's my friend, if you are with him in America, he will describe for you street by street of some of the bigger cities there. Outside this Nairobi, I doubt, Mr. Speaker, if there is any other African country that he knows the name of a street, including neighborhood here in Dar es Salaam, Mr. Speaker. Maybe Kigali for other reasons, but Mr. Speaker. Anyway, on a more serious note, there is something else, Senator Ledama, you need to check. I followed, you said something that got my attention about Captain Ibrahim Traore. I used to also fall for his hype, like many people fall on TikTok. I saw another journalist another time saying, oh, did you see the way he was cheered when he arrived for the inauguration of the Ghanaian new president, Mr. Speaker? And I was excited like most people. Until I did some further research about what is exactly going on in Burkina Faso. And I want to challenge Senator Ledama to do the same, perhaps counter-check Senator Ledama, the things that you read online and the reality on ground, as Kenyans say. And I was shocked actually to learn that despite all this hype and the things that we read about, the things that they are doing, first of all, I am not a fan of coups. I am a firm believer in democracy. I strongly believe that if there were lesser coups in Africa and more transitions by the ballot, Africa will advance better than it is doing through coups and by the power of the bullet. For that reason, I am not a big fan of that particular gentleman. But more importantly, the reason why the military, led by him, took over Burkina Faso is that they insisted that there were challenges with security in their country. And there were terrorists ravaging around, killing people, and all these kind of challenges. You need to check Senator Ledama, because from the research that I did, is that actually since they took over power, and you know wars are very costly. You can see what is happening to the gentleman in Ukraine. See how he's being embarrassed and the things that he's being taught. Because wars are extremely expensive. If you don't have a way through which you will fund your war, then you better not start it. So the unfortunate situation in that country, and we need to check, unfortunately they are not part of the Great Lakes, but this is just to make the point that we need to understand our continent better, is that since coming into power by the bullet of Captain Ibrahim Traore, they have lost 40% more territory to the terrorists that were ravaging people. So it's easy to read all these things online, TikTok, and people say, oh, certain things are happening. But do your research further. And that's the tragedy with Africa. That is part of what this report is telling us, that as parliamentarians, Mr. Speaker, in African nations, we know very little about our continent. Of course, the issue that you further raised, Senator Ledama, which is extremely important, is the challenges of travel within this continent. You remember, in 2023, President William Ruto flagged off outside here, just next to Parliament at KICC, the first consignment of goods that were supposed to be sold from Kenya into the rest of the African countries under the ACFTA arrangement, Mr. Speaker. It took 3 months for those goods to get from Nairobi to Accra, Ghana, because of the challenges of logistics, border points, areas where there are conflict, poor road network and infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. Very serious challenges that this continent is facing, Mr. Speaker, which, unless we as the leaders, we that serve in Parliament, almost all our governments and institutions on the continent, Mr. Speaker, have their budgets drawn in their parliaments. And we must consciously begin to make decisions that further make our countries more competitive. We must think beyond, Mr. Speaker, just passing division of revenue.
Mental projects that are going on in Burkina Faso. What has William Ruto done for Kenya? We were here when the whole world, even IMF, had to come out to apologize to the people of Kenya for the bad governance of your democratic elected president. According to Captain Ibrahim Traore, even under your democracy, people are paying every blessed day in Kenya. There is no freedom of speech because your leaders will always go after them. We are here when people came out from Kenya to tell us the bad things that are happening in Kenya. What have you been able to achieve? These are the ones that they always use to target our people. These are the people that are leading us. How do Africa get the freedom that we want to see? If these people can never see the good thing, all that they see is negative. What Captain Ibrahim Traore has been able to achieve within 2 years, you those who have sat there for how many years now, what have you been able to give to your people? Apart from sitting in that parliament to lie to them. When the Gen Zs entered parliament, were you all not speaking the truth? Telling people, the whole world, how you have to stop lying and do things that will favor the people? What Captain Ibrahim Traore is giving to the people of Burkina Faso, have you had quarter of it? I wonder why Kenya is always attacking Burkina. No, why will I even wonder when their president have to waste the state money, 1.5 million US dollars to rent a jet to go and visit another leader, Yolo Popo. And when he had the opportunity to sit on Yolo Popo's seat, come and see the joy. These ones that have sold Africa, why will we? No wonder Africa is where it is, with these people as leaders in Africa, because these people have them in their pockets. Whenever they come, They have to always defend them. They have to always say things that will please Yolo Papa. Why will we progress? Because the ones that are doing the good things, they use these ones to always pollute our minds against the good ones. But this is not the time of Muammar Gaddafi. This is not the time of Muammar Gaddafi. We have risen. We are no longer in the Stone Age era where you come out and tell us anything and we believe. You can never be a hindrance to Africa. Now we, the youth, can tell which of you is a leader and is fighting for the betterment. And when you finish, you now tell us to trade more. We should do business among ourselves. You are a hypocrite. You can never say you want Africa to move forward when you don't appreciate the people that are rising to do everything possible to move the continent ahead. The Gen Zs in Africa, it is high time we stop listening to these democratic elected ones. That Yolo Popo have them in their palm. That they have to do and dance to the tune of these people. We will rise up and nobody, no leader in Africa will be a hindrance to us. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, East Africa, and in Kenya.